tuned into the Entrepaidneur Sessions, the ultimate podcast for startup entrepreneurs.
Entrepaidneur Sessions, a podcast. I'm your host, Jennifer. My co-host, Mario. There he is, just popped on right now. We have a really, really special guest in the building today. Everybody's been talking about the CBD industry as a whole. It's just revolutionary industry. Everybody has a lot of questions about it, about the opportunities in it. So we have an amazing guest today. She's a wife, she's a mother, and she's an entrepreneur. And she's also the founder of a charity called H2B2 Foundation, as well as Vybe Kit. So we're happy to welcome Brandi Square. We got Brandi in the building. Welcome, Brandi.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being on the show. So Mario, you want to jump it off?
Yes, ma'am. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Cool. So our August theme is rebuild, rebrand, and restore. So this month we're focusing on ways to help pivot your business and redefine your brand and your business during these uncertain times. And so how did you get started as an entrepreneur?
It took me a while to get started because I had kids early, so it took me a while to find that path for me. And I ended up turning a passion, which was marijuana, into a business because I was always like in the kitchen trying to whip up different tinctures and teas and butters, but it was simply because I liked the medical benefits of it. It wasn't necessarily like the high side of marijuana. I just liked getting rid of the anxiety, the depression, being and feeling at my best. So I tried to, when I finally discovered CBD, that's when everything just kind of like opened up essentially.
So when you were making all those concoctions in your kitchen, was that before the whole CBD movement began, or was that like once it began, you said, let me play with this a little bit and see what I can make?
Oh, this was well before the CBD was actually a thing. It wasn't until I found CBD and I was like, duh, that's what I'm looking for, because I don't have the tools to really extract the THC out of it and out of the plant and get the full benefits from it. You have to do the decarboxylation, you have all this stuff you have to do. And it just, when the CBD came around, it was just like, okay, all right, this is what I know I'm good at, because my son has a lot of health issues and we had already been dabbling in herbal medicines, Chinese medicines, and it just kind of went hand in hand.
Okay. So I wanted to rewind and say, we've been saying CBD as if everybody understands what CBD is. So maybe you can give us a quick tutorial on what's going on, what this is, what the industry is real quick.
Okay, so CBD is the cannabis plant. It's the whole plant. So what I do is I use full spectrum CBD. So I try to get all the benefits from the plant, and it's cannabinoids, right? And so your body already has an endocannabinoid system, which we're basically ready to absorb cannabis, if you will. And once we inhale it, ingest it, however your preference of taking it, you start to get benefits from it, which is a lot of people like to use it for anxiety and depression, but it has very good anti-inflammatory properties. And a lot of people have used it for different other medical ailments that they have been experiencing.
Mario.
Did that kind of explain it?
Yeah, Mario, we can't hear you. Yeah.
Oh, it's the non-psychoactive part of marijuana. So that's one thing I do have to tell you. It's the non-psychoactive part of it, and it has the medical benefits, which is, like I said in the beginning, is what I was looking for from the plant.
Okay.
There you go.
So, Mario, you want to? Okay, we can hear you. Go ahead.
And so we're hearing about, CBD all of a sudden, well, I don't know if it's all of a sudden, but over here in Texas, it's exploding all over the place. So as it's exploding, it creates more opportunities. So can you explain to our viewers, why CBD is so popular? I know you said there was a couple of elements, and it kind of relates to your son and health-wise, but what are some other, elements to utilizing CBD?
Virtually anything, seriously. Headaches, PMS symptoms, sexual dysfunction, you have CBD, CBG, CBN. There's so many
variations.
Many different components of the plant that are truly helpful. So it's, you know, how some people like to go to native compounds and they like to kind of explore in the psychedelics and things of that nature, and they like to get that outer body experience and come back whole again. It's, to me, it's like that. It's cured in a bottle. it's the medicine everyone's been looking for. My parents have high blood pressure, diabetes, nerve damage, and it just takes that want for the extra pharmaceuticals out, so you don't overdose. You kind of like alleviate the need for all the pharmaceuticals, if you will.
So like with everything going on in the CBD industry, and then you look at it like the last 10 or 20 years back and the stigma that was around cannabis and you know, even a lot of other things, like people being arrested in the past for you know, utilizing cannabis. So what is that shift, or what's happened in recent times that has made people shift from looking at it as a drug and more now for medicinal purposes?
I mean, honestly, it's, you know, when people other than us get their hands on it, it becomes more of a high ticket item. I have family members that have been in prison for using, selling, distributing any and everything that you can think of. You know, I'm clearly a product of that system, and I told my uncle, that's dear to my heart, I say, you know, I'm gonna make this make sense for us, because he did do 8 years in prison behind literally nothing. You know, something that people are shipping across the country now, and they have rooms full of, you know, they have grow houses and all of these things in the 90s and early 2000s. That was literally just, all right, another slap on the wrist. We're going to put you back there and we're going to, you know, get our money. You know, that's what it was. But now it's, once science has evolved to the point where we can start extracting the plant, and people are calling bullshit essentially on programs for not letting us utilize these plants, things started to shift in the general public's favor versus the government's favor, if you will.
Oh, wow. So I'm going to switch it up a little bit and ask you a random question before we dive deeper into this whole session. If you could have dinner with 3 people, dead or alive, who would you have dinner with and why?
Ooh, okay. I have to say Master P.
Okay.
I have to say 2 Chainz and Rihanna.
Okay. Okay, you need to explain on all 3.
I'm a good old Southern girl. I'm from Alabama, so Southern rap is near and dear to my heart, right?
Okay.
But I've watched, especially Master P and 2 Chainz, evolve and turn a hobby or a passion into an empire. So with 2 Chainz, I love Most Expensivest. There's literally nothing that he can do wrong in my eyes. He's a father, and he educates the public about things that you didn't even know you wanted to know about, you know? He's funny as hell, fashionable, and he knows how to get you to tune in and tell you what you want instead of thinking you know what you want. And Rihanna, she's the same way. You know, it's, I want your music. She's like, no, you don't. This is what I'm good at. This is my passion. Underwear, makeup, fashion, and everything. The woman is just a powerhouse, and she's given us things that we didn't know we needed. You know, she tunes into the needs of our culture, and she's unapologetically her.
That's what's
up. I love that. That's awesome. Well, so how do you balance, you know, your day-to-day, you know, activities, like, you know, with your husband and the football, then you got your kids, and you just got day-to-day, you know, living. How do you balance all that and still do your business?
Oh, CBD.
Sign me up.
Honestly, that's helped. I used to drink coffee, like real deal Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts fiend. And now since quarantine is when I started my business, and I have come up with my biggest struggles and put them in a bottle. Right. So I have one for energy and focus, and I literally I take it every day. I take it twice a day when I'm feeling real sluggish and I'm playing dolls with my daughter and she's mommy, hold on, I got you. And then I'm back up to, peppery mommy that she wants. But it's just staying consistent, stick with the schedule, and have a great team around you that understands not only you, but your family. And to me, when you have those key items, you can't go wrong.
That's challenges. Now, as an entrepreneur, we run into all kinds of different challenges. So what are some challenges that you might have run into as an entrepreneur?
Finding the right business venture. Like I said, it took me a while to find out who I was and to really delve into my passions, because I like I said earlier, I became a mom at an early age, so I didn't have the luxury like most millennials these days who aren't having kids as early to really figure out my path. I had to do that along the way. So once I figured that out, I had to get in touch with consultants. I had to reach out on social media and find my right team, right? So once I got consultants and they kind of told me the steps that I need to take, my biggest struggle was getting a processing system and figuring out a real business plan. Because like I said, these are things I hadn't done before. But once I sat down and I started studying these things and I figured out what banks are looking for, what they aren't looking for, because initially I had like a subscription model that I wanted to do, but with the state of the economy right now, that doesn't look good for banks. They want to know that your purchases are guaranteed, it's going straight into your bank account so you can pay them. That they want to know that your money that you say you're going to get is good and that you can pay me off when it's time for that check. So it was a lot. Like, it took longer than usual, and it did it discouraged me for a little bit, because I'm like, I'm doing all these steps, and as soon as I check off 5 steps that they tell me to do, it's another 10 that I have to do. So just make sure that you stay patient, you stick to it, and especially when it gets to the point where you don't think that this is actually what you want to do, just keep pushing through, because it'll all pay off in the end.
That's right. So with the CBD, is there like a age? I mean, I know there's a lot of health benefits, but is there an age restriction on using these products?
Naturally, FDA says you have to be 18 and older to consume, but CBD became more popular because kids were getting, cancer, and their parents wanted to explore more of the cannabis world than the traditional medical realm. So parents were moving their kids to states where they could consume cannabis legally with medical cards. And that gave me my idea of doing a family-friendly CBD, because I make sure there's no heavy metals, it's fully kosher, vegan, non-GMO, because I want my whole family to consume it. So what they consume every day is my immunity boost, which has elderberry and echinacea and ashwagandha in it to make sure that their immune systems are built for the long haul, especially with COVID going on, and my son and his asthma. So that's his little product on the whole brand, is something that's going to work from the inside and really make sure that you're curing yourself and healing yourself.
So that's awesome. It's like one of those things, not only do you sell it, but you're also, you're using it. So you've seen the effects of
Exactly.
it.
Exactly.
Do you educate people about it like on a regular basis, or is this one of those things we have to find you and then you kind of teach them? How do people like all the stuff you tell me, I didn't even know the difference with CBD and CBG and all this other stuff. So like, do you educate people about this?
Yeah. I actually had a lady kind of hit me up on Facebook, and she was like, I've been a nurse for X amount of years, and I've never heard of CBD being used for your immune system. And I was like, well, you've been in the traditional medical space, so you wouldn't know. Like, no shade, but you have to kind of come out of that mindset and look more to the holistic realm of things, and you'll find what you need. But yeah, I'm more than happy to send articles. I actually do my research. I actually consult with scientists, and I have custom formulas because I need this for my livelihood, for my son's livelihood, and for my husband's livelihood. I don't ever want to put out a product where they can come back and say, oh, she sold me this just to make a coin. I'm not about that at all. I'm about integrity first. So if you ask me questions, I'm more than welcome to answer them.
Awesome. Okay. Now, I heard you have a nonprofit. We were doing some research. You have a nonprofit that was funded with you and your husband. So can you tell our audience a little bit about that?
Okay, that's my baby. It's called Hip to Be Square, playing off of our last name. And it helps kids in underprivileged situations. I'm a kid, single mom, visiting my dad on the weekends. But I did see the community that it took to raise just one child. My husband, he was raised with his grandparents, and he was the youngest of like 5 kids in the house, and it took a village for him to get to his dreams as well. And we just wanted to give back to the community and make sure just those little things that are sometimes overlooked, that they are able to be fulfilled. We've done football scholarships. We've done football camps. We've done an all-around sports camp, and we actually awarded the best overall athlete, $1,000 scholarship. We've sent kids to football camps. And the last 2 years, we've actually done a thing called Jingle Bowl Rock. So we have this huge bowling event, and I like to tailgate with Charger fans a lot. So those are my people right there. And to just thank them for just bringing life back into me, we do the Jingle Bowl Rock, and it's just a night filled with drinking, bowling, raffles, and we give the proceeds to Orange County Family Services. And they have an angel tree list. Take that list between myself and the Charger families. We fulfill that entire list. So we're the elves, and we give it to Santa, which are the social workers at Orange County Family Services, and they deliver the gifts to the kids every year.
That's amazing.
I love how you've incorporated like your husband's team and the community together to kind of like make it, to make it more impactful as far as a community initiative. So that's really cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. So let's talk about marketing. We're in the middle of a pandemic. How are you promoting Vybe Kit right now with everything going on? What are some strategies that you're using?
Right now, it's hard because we are a startup and we are still considered illegal substances to some social media platforms. And it's kind of hard to navigate and get around the promotion side of it. So we've gone more of the affiliate program and word of mouth, sending my products. I'm having to take a loss by sending products to people rather than them purchasing things, so I can get good advertising. The more pictures you take and you leave a review of it, you can get a discount from it. But I send it out to friends, I send it out to family, the people that I think are going to actually leave reviews and tell a friend, auntie that can't keep a secret. I got you, money. Auntie that can't keep a secret for nothing, and uncle that, hey baby, you need to try this. I send it to them, and they help get the word out. So right now, that's what I'm using, is the power of social media as best as I can.
That's usually the best way. It's relationship based, so that's usually the best way of business. I love it.
Yeah, because we're aiming to be a family-friendly, luxury, trustworthy brand, kind of like the Honest Company of the cannabis world,
The only thing that's kept me from really diving into CBD is, I'm seeing CBD shops being thrown all over the place, but how are they regulated? How do people, like if I go to this CBD down the street over here versus this one over here, how do I know that I'm actually getting the right formula? Is that just more of a trust factor, or is it regulated by the FDA? Do you know about that?
Actually, as of now, it's not really regulated because sometimes you don't know. There's been an ongoing thing with the FDA where a lot of products that say they have no THC or this amount of CBD actually have more when they pull the products to be tested. So I make sure that I spend that extra buck or two and I send my products to labs for third-party testing to guarantee that they are what I say they are.
I love that.
And you can be bamboozled. You know, some people end up getting like black CBD.
Right.
That's not what it's supposed to be. Now I do have my immunity; it is purple, so I say that. But that's because it's an elderberry base. So don't be alarmed if you get some purple CBD.
You got to stand right here. I'm your new client, so.
I got you.
Yeah. I mean, based on what you're saying, though, it sounds like it's really about finding that trusted brand because there's no consistency across the industry right now as far as.
There isn't. We talk a lot about a dollar over integrity, and I'd much rather have integrity over the money.
Yeah. And then also, if the quality of the product is good, you can tell when something is, I don't know, for lack of a better word, watered down versus what you paid for.
Yeah. I turn a lot of people, non-believers, into believers because my little brother, he likes to say, Brandi always over there giving her kids fruits and berries and stuff to cure them. And I'm like, hey, you think that, and yes, that is true, but when you actually take these supplements that I'm giving you, you become a believer because it's like you can't deny how you feel. If you got a cold, if you're achy, if you have attention deficit, whatever it is, I got something for it, honestly. Not to toot my own horn.
Here, shut up. Take my money. Here, take it.
Come on, I got you.
Love it. So advice, all right, so a lot of people who are watching this episode, some of them might be trying to get into CBD, some of them might be trying to get into a different area of business. But as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, what advice would you give to some people who come to you and say, okay, I'm trying to start a business, obstacles, what do I need to do as far as marketing, what advice would you give other business owners?
I would honestly say, one, you need to make sure that your credit is good because they will be checking that, especially as a minority. You're going to come across a lot of obstacles, and having your credit good is one thing that they cannot deny you of a lot of different services such as loans, lines of credit, when your credit is good. So make sure you pay off things and make sure that before you start this, you do have some money saved up because no risk, no reward. You will be spending a little more than you anticipated. And that's a part of it. You have to take a loss to get a greater gain. You need to make sure that you are meditating of some sort, meditating, praying, whatever it is, to stay sound, because when these obstacles come at you, they're going to hit you with that 1-2 combo, and you have to make sure that you're able to sustain those blows that are going to come your way because it's inevitable. I would also say get you a good team around you, whether that's interns, whether that's family, friends, networking, get on LinkedIn, do your research of products, do your research of websites, do your research of marketing, and do your research of labs. Because for me, I didn't want to go with just any old CBD company and white label their stuff. I wanted something that, one, I could trust to give my kids, to give my grandmother, to give my father and my mother. And I wanted something that wasn't available. So it takes a little capital to do that R&D, research and development, to get those custom formulas for me. But there are many ways you can go about it. Fulfillment companies, like I said, you can white label, you can private label. There's a lot of different avenues that you can take, but you need to have a sound plan. You need to have a passion for what you're doing and not just jump on some bandwagon, you know, and you need to make sure you have some capital and a sound mind, because like I said, you will be tested.
Cool. I'm over here taking some notes as you're going along before I forget. So this is good stuff.
So what's a risk that you've taken in your career that initially scared the mess out of you, but later on you were like, I'm so glad I did that?
The risk was it was the capital. It was the running the credit score. You know, it's like buying a new house and you say you want it. Oh, I got it. This is exactly what I want. And then, you know, you get those closing statements. You like, oh, hold on. I don't think I really like this that much. But yeah, you gotta, that was my biggest thing, was knowing that I had saved for a rainy day, and that rainy day fund was my passion. So in midst of a pandemic, you know, so I had to talk to my husband, and I had a business plan, and I told him how much this was gonna cost, and we made sure that we did everything the right way, because I didn't want to just throw a product out there, but I have sacrificed a lot of my time with my kids because of it, because I've been a stay-at-home mom for 8 years, and you know, they're used to mommy being at their every call, you know, so it's been an adjustment for everyone to get used to the new wave of success that's going through the house. But it's been fun because I can let my kids in on the action, and they, you know, learn about products and advertising and packaging, and, you know, they're proud of it. And I love to see that they're proud of me for fulfilling my passions.
Leaving behind the legacy, I love it. You can make money anywhere. It's about leaving behind the legacy. That's kind of my why more.
Exactly.
And so, as a business owner, what are some of the challenges that you experience?
Thinking you're prepared. And then somebody hits you with a question, and you're like, oh, well, hold on, you know, I'm not ready for that one. But, you know, you have to do your research. It's been challenging doing the research to find the right products. I have friends that are pharmacists and doctors and nurses, and I've been telling them about it, and they're kind of like, yeah, no, see, you just need to let them people stick to their medicine. But it's kind of been hard getting people to believe in what you believe, and not trying to push it on them, but just push them that research and let them, you know, form an opinion about it themselves. And slowly but surely, they've started to come around, and we have discussions about what supplements are right, what supplements aren't right, the common ailments or the common symptoms of certain ailments. And we try together to make sure that we kind of have an overall formula for different ailments.
Is it too late for the CBD industry?
No, not at all. You just have to find your niche. Your niche could be athletes. Your niche could be the stay-at-home mom. Your niche could be the elderly. Your niche could be for lupus. Your niche could be for epilepsy, for cancer. You have to find your why within the passion, right?
Right.
You have to find that. And for me, it was just for me, CBD, creating a supplement plus CBD for parents, for athletes, and for the all-around hustler, because that defines my household.
Do you think, especially with you forming your business in California, do you feel like strategically that's going to help with, especially since the industry seems to be really being embraced in that region of the country? Do you feel like positioning wise, as far as where you're located, is going to play a role in the growth of your company, or do you think it doesn't really matter? Success can happen anywhere.
I want to say that this can happen anywhere, honestly. Oregon, California, Denver, New York, New Jersey. These things are happening all over the place. And I just feel like if you have the right data to back up your big talking, then you'll be okay.
That's good.
Do you have an affiliate program? Someone who might want to come in as a I don't know so much as an internship, but just wants to sell your product. Is there some sort of like an affiliate program?
Yeah. So you go to vybekit.com and little section over there on the side, and you sign in, and you can join the affiliate program, and we'll coordinate, send emails. I'll send you a special discount code, and you can get compensated for a percentage of each sale that's made under your code.
Cool. I love that.
Yeah.
For the evangelists, the people who want to promote the brand. So, how can our listeners connect with you? What's your social handles? How can they reach you? What's your preferred way to be reached? All of that good information.
Okay. So my name on Facebook is Brandi K Square, Brandi with an I, square like the shape. I always tell people that. My IG handle is I am King Square, and the Vybe Kit handle is Vybe, VYBEKIT, across all social media.
Awesome.
Okay. All right. Does anybody have any questions they want to ask while we got Brandi on the line? Gonna open it up for a little bit of Q&A. Not all at the same time.
I won't bite. It's okay.
I have another question. And so, marketing wise, you said you do referral mouth. You utilize, I guess, friends and family who talk about your company. Are there any like specific tools that you use? Some people use like MailChimp to send out email blasts.
Mm-hmm.
Some people use Squarespace to do the website. Is there any specific tools that you utilize that you're willing to share with some of the people?
Yeah, right now we just integrated MailChimp into our database to help get the word out a little bit faster. But yeah, I'm always creating creative marketing, my Instagram posts and things of that nature. So I send them out to friends and family, and I send them a product and say, hey, I kind of put this with you in mind. I made this advertisement with you in mind. If you could post it and, let me know how you like it. And if people come your way, let me know, So that's why I'm encouraging the affiliate program, because it is a way where I can help you and you can help me,
Like there's an opportunity too with doing partnerships with like health and fitness clubs, people like that. It just seems like they would have the network to get the word out. But
exactly.
Well, Brandi, thank you for joining us. This has been very, very insightful for everybody who's interested in the CBD industry. It looks like the time is now, based on what Brandi said, and it looks like the opportunity is unlimited. I know it's a new industry, but the good thing about a new industry is once it takes off, you want to be a part of that before that situation happens. So thank you.
Thank you for having me, guys. It was great.
I'm a new believer, so I'll be visiting your website today.
I made a believer out of one person day. I did my job.
All right. Thank y'all. We'll catch everybody on the next episode.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye.